Hi everybody. It is Wednesday, April 19th. My name is Bergen-Jackson. I'm the administrator at Oak Knoll, and it's my time to do the weekly video. So what's new with you? I know we have a number of positive respiratory illnesses in the community. In independent living specifically, we have 8 positive residents at the main campus. Those cases do not appear to be linked, although I can't really tell you for sure. There's some rumor about our tenor section of the choir being exposed, but I can't link anything together for certain. So let's talk a little bit about this pesky COVID and how it's sticking around. So as the country moves forward, now the public health emergency has ended, you're going to hear less and less about it in the media and see less and less about it in the newspaper. And where I draw my data from is gone. The Iowa website's gone, and so no one is reporting positive tests anymore. So I can just look at our community and say right now we have a cluster, I would call it a cluster of positive cases. Some may or may not be linked in the community. And so what I would ask you is if you travel outside of the bubble, outside of Oak Knoll, in particular on an airplane, or on a cruise, or if you prefer the train, if you're traveling outside of Oak Knoll in mass transit, I would ask you to wear a mask when you're traveling to help protect yourself from the crowds of strangers around you, but also wear a mask for a couple days when you come back to Oak Knoll, just to wait and see how you did. You know, I went on a cruise, I went to the Caribbean, it was beautiful, I was relaxed, I came back, I was fine, and then one day after I came back, I had a cough, and the next day I had influenza A. Turns out that the cruise ship was sort of like a little petri dish for all kinds of things. So people got COVID on that cruise, my cruise, people got influenza, and some people got the norovirus, which is nausea and vomiting and throwing up. So I'm really glad I didn't have that and diarrhea. I just had influenza A and felt like I got hit by a truck. So, if you wear your mask, you won't expose anybody around Oak Knoll for the time that you don't know whether or not you're positive. I would say that it could go as long as 5 or 6 days. When we initially started dealing with COVID, the exposure window was open up to 14 days, and we did have people that were positive on that 14th day. So just keep that in the back of your mind while you're going about living your normal lives. I don't want you to feel burdened by anything. I don't want you to stop doing anything fun. I want you to get back to living normal life. But when you're here in the community, if you're out in the crowd, wear a mask. Now, having said that, the mask is not absolutely 100% guaranteed to prevent you from getting COVID. It is most helpful if you are wearing a mask and the person who was exposed are wearing a mask. But I have not seen very many masks around in the past couple of weeks, which is fine, but your risk is greater. Now, when I say that, I don't mean it's greater than being out in public. If you're going to Hampshire, if you're going to the grocery store, COVID is out there and it's going to be with us forever. And so it is everywhere. You just happen to know if you were exposed at Oak Knoll because we communicate with each other, but you wouldn't necessarily know if you were exposed to Hy-Vee or Fairway. So we're all vaccinated. Everyone is mildly ill at this point. Your physician or nurse practitioner or PA might order Paxlovid for you. That's an antiviral medication. Not everybody qualifies for that medication, so that's why I say you have to ask your provider if you're symptomatic. If you're not symptomatic, they're probably not going to prescribe it. I took it when I took the flu version, so I can't remember what it's called for influenza A. I took it, it was terrible, the antiviral, Tamiflu, ooh, terrible. But, you know, better than having terrible symptoms from the flu. I do think Paxlovid helps with symptoms. So we just need to keep talking to each other, and don't be upset if you're exposed, because it's a risk we're all running every day as we get back into normal lives. So call me if you have any questions about that or if you want to talk about it. But I would encourage you, if you're out and about, to just wear a mask as a precaution. That's all I have to say about that. Again, if you have any questions, you can let me know. But here we are at the end of April, coming up on May, and there's so many big things coming. I'm not prepared to talk about anything, but Summer of the Arts will start soon. BF Burt will be around. We're already enjoying some music. And I have a surprise for you in June, but I'm not telling today. There's 2 surprises. I don't know why people think they can tell me their secrets, but there's 2 surprises for June that I'm sure you'll get out of me sometime in May. I am aware that the New York Times posted a story yesterday that it's time for another booster. Hold on to that information. The committee was meeting today to make a recommendation to the FDA. As soon as I hear about that recommendation, we can move forward with a booster clinic. I'll let you know. I know they're trying to get the boosters aligned with the flu shots so that we can once a year get a booster for COVID and influenza, maybe together. I don't know yet. But right now, the New York Times reported if you're over the age of 65 and you haven't had a vaccine booster in 4 months, you can have another one. I checked with Johnson County Public Health, and they're not quite ready to say that yet, but they will be this week probably. And as soon as I get an update, I'll let you know. Otherwise, it's good to see you in the camera. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care.